Welcome, folks, once again to another edition of Let's Chat with me, Meor Addelan. Ole, 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 ole. Football is life. Football is at heart. Every Malaysian, and I kid you not, I truly believe that every Malaysian out there loves football. But today, we're not just going to be talking about football, but we're going to be talking about the development of football. And with that, we have the representative from the National Football Development Program. Ladies and gents, may I invite to you Mr. Coach Redza. Assalamualaikum, Coach.
Waalaikumsalam.
Let's just dive into it directly, Coach, right now. Because again, football, as I mentioned, is a sport that we love. Malaysians and football, it's like, ice cream and chocolate sprinkles. You cannot go wrong with that. But maybe you can just explain to us a bit the fact that you've been around football and its development. Maybe you can share with us, how has the scene been in regards of development amongst youngsters in football, yesteryears and the situation right now?
If we talk about football since the yesteryears and nowadays, the fact is, last time we never had all these academies. I believe you, me, myself, we didn't play football every Saturday, Sunday with an academy that we paid for, or even our parents paid for. But now it's totally different. I will say every Saturday and Sunday there will be an academy going on. It has changed very much. Football has just become, during the MCO we all had problems, because I used to coach Saturday and Sundays also as well. When the parents had no place to send their children and we couldn't go out, it was a problem. Since that, Saturday, Sundays, you need kids to do things. You need kids to be occupied with themselves instead of doing, playing with handphones or getting into things that they're not supposed to. So we go the other way. Now it's changed. We have academies. Every place you have all this. We have one academy being brought up here. We have another academy somewhere else, and everyone plays the game nowadays. From 3 years old all the way probably up until 17. Of course, if you're talking about development.
Not any Tom, Dick, and Harry out there can actually be a football coach. You need to be accredited. You need to get a certain level of certification from the governing body for you to be able to be a coach, correct?
It's first of all, coaches, you need passion. But if you look nowadays, we will say, even though you're a big superstar, you can never become a good coach. Then you need passion, of course. But to be good, you will always need to refresh yourself with the latest of information and the newest methods of coaching and whatnot. So that equals everything. So you have to be there first to have the passion, and then go all the way with your qualifications to go. Yes, I believe so. You really need to learn something. To teach, you need to know, of course.
When we talk about football, a lot of youngsters right now, like my nephews, for instance, they're as young as 13, 14. They look up to superstars like your Cristiano Ronaldos, like your Lionel Messi's, like your, whoever it is, Jadon Sancho, for instance. One example I want to take, Jadon Sancho. He's so young. He's 19. And he's already up there. He's wanted by so many clubs and whatnot. Our youngsters, they aspire, they look up into all of the superstars. They want to become like that. Now, logically, coach, is it really, can you really become those kind of stars? The fact that you're here in Malaysia, coach, you think?
Well, I do understand. We went through that. But then, you always see kids wearing Messi. You always see kids wearing Ronaldo. The jerseys that have names behind. You see, but we Malaysians, we can dream of something like that. One example right now is we have our newly signed Lukman Hakim Shamsuddin. I think you know that boy. He's a superstar. He was listed in 50 top most golden boys, and he's probably one of them. And I think he can be a first stepping stone towards that. One more can be also Hadi Fayad, who has already signed for Fagiano Okayama in Japan. So these two are clear examples of that. We actually can be there. And they are only 17, 18, and probably in a matter of time, like 5 years or 4 years from now, they could be kids who have seen them want to be them. I've seen nowadays in academies, they don't. If they, especially when they watch Malaysian games involving our national team, some of them, when they shoot, they say Safawi Rashid's name. So that's a change.
Mhm.
You know, when we have been, it's different. So we know Lukman could be the next. So I believe a lot of our Malaysians want to become the next also as well.
What happened to the rest? I mean, like, is it really that difficult for us to compete against all of this? Like, maybe don't even have to look at the European stage. I mean, just look at Asia, your Koreans, your Japanese, or even your Indonesians or your Thai players. Are we lacking in some sort of is it the physique? Is it the mentality? Is it how we understand or how we approach the game? Is that what's lacking for Malaysian youngsters?
I particularly don't believe in having the. I mean, yeah. I mean, as athletes, you need to have the right physique, of course.
Hmm.
Right. We need to be fit, of course. If you're not fit, you can't play the game. It's as simple as that. Those are something else. But I'm talking about players having the ability. We actually need this perseverance, decision making skills, adapting to new surroundings. These are things that I would talk about, and I would tell these kids and youngsters. You want to play far, you don't need you need to have the skills. Those are just there. But the bonus is whether you can adapt to new surroundings, whether you'll be able to live somewhere that you're not used to, whether when you need to decide on the right decisions, whether can you decide on that, and of course support lah. And that's always the problem. We always say, Malaysian players cannot go abroad because they miss nasi lemak, they miss roti canai. That one is all out of the story. We don't talk about that right now, but we are talking about, I'm going there, like Lukman. We're talking about Lukman because my friend is in Belgium. He said where Lukman is going, they speak 3 languages, and of course you need to have English first.
Mhm.
But then the rest, if you're in Belgium, you need to speak French. They speak French, they speak Dutch, they speak also German. So imagine him having to adapt with that. And if language is the barrier, and you can't speak, or if you have a little bit of weaknesses in all that, so it'll be a problem. So yes,
Yeah.
I still believe physique is just there if you're a player, but adapting skills, decision making, support, and all that is very much important to persevere.
But one thing also I do want to stress out here. Football is a team sport. It's not individual. It's not an individual sport like golf or tennis or badminton. You don't have to rely on anybody else to go very far because you are your own. You are your own talent. You make your own choices. You make your own decisions. But still, football is
Mhm.
still a team sport. How can an individual, specifically a youngster who wants to grow through the game, have that sort of a support when he can't just rely on himself? He needs to rely on 10 other people on the field. It's not easy.
I'll go back to what we were talking about Lukman again.
Mm.
For him to be there, he needs a support group, of course. And I believe they have arranged a way of how he is supposed to be there. With even he already has foster families to stay there.
Mhm.
And of course, anywhere you go, you'll need that. And if I'm not mistaken, the family is to be with him also as well, at least for a few, I don't know, a certain time limit until he
Mhm.
can actually go on with that. I mean, even professional footballers have agents as brothers as their agents, even family members as their agents to be with them. So at least that's one support group already there. But even the football team itself or the football club, welcoming a new player is like making the player itself comfortable with the surroundings. And especially as I'm talking about, I know a few African players who can actually be anywhere they want because they know how to get used to it.
Mhm.
And that's how that's the stress here. That's why we always say, you've seen I'll say maybe Nazmi was in Portugal
Mm.
for just a few months, but
Yeah.
he came back here. But I also heard that he didn't get the support he was supposed to get. That's why he's back.
Coming back to Malaysia, coming back to our homeland, our current status of Malaysian football, you're already laughing when I wanted to ask you this question. The current status of Malaysian football right now, come on, let's be honest. I mean, like, we used to be up there, coach. We used to challenge the best of the world, at least in our region. But I'm not even talking about the world right now, but just within our region. What has happened? Has the development of getting the proper youngsters going through the ranks not working? What has been done within the past 10, 15 years?
I would say not the past 10, 50 years. We were badly hit from our 94 corruption crisis. That
Mm.
was the main thing that actually made everything go from something to nothing at all.
Mhm.
I think that was what made all the, we had full packed stadiums, and now nobody cares. Everyone rather stays at home, watch EPL, or even go to mama shops even more than going to the stadium.
Mm.
That's the start of everything. But then again, I'm not saying that we are not working towards that. A lot is, but of course, development needs at least not only 20 years, but even more than that. But since that we are seeing this, even our current under-19s, under 17s, they're on the way. And if you can see, actually, the newest batch of the senior players are also playing a certain brand of football. If you can see, playing out from the back, pressing from the front third, midfield combination play. All this is given in our new syllabus. Not actually new syllabus, a new way of playing, and they're moving towards that. You remember we lost 10-0 to UAE.
Yep. Yeah, that was a very hurtful time. Yes.
Yes, it was not even far back then. It was only a few years back.
Yep.
And we actually gave them a fright when they played here in Malaysia recently. So we're moving towards that, and I really call for a little bit of patience, of course, from a lot of us. But of course, some of us are very used to being glory hunters. We want instant success, but development is a very difficult thing, and it really needs a huge group of players really knowing how to play. That's why we were talking about, the bigger the pool, the better. The more players we'll get, so we can actually build it towards something we want.
Right, coming back to development.
Yeah,
exactly. So, one last question I want to ask you, Coach. Yes, we need patience. We need to persevere with whatever is happening right now. There's a system, there's a steps in progress and everything. To your own opinion, to your own thinking, what is going to happen to our football world? What is to become of these youngsters, the one that you are coaching personally? What's going to happen to them within the next 3, 5, 10 years from now? Do we have a chance?
They will have a chance. It's not only a person's job to actually go through that. It involves a lot of people. I particularly worry a lot in terms of as a player, when you are playing, we lack a little bit in probably intellectual ability. I'm very sorry, I'll be frank. That's why I always stress on the players themselves. Actually, you need to be educated, not only on the field, outside. When you're intellectually better, then you perform better because you know certain things. So within these years of developing them, we really need them to be at par with whatever they are supposed to go through. Let's just say now we were going through COVID a lot, and the league is about to start in August.
Yeah.
So I will say a lot of teams are having problems with paying, wages of certain players also as well. I'll be frank, it's in the news everywhere.
Yep.
So imagine how these players, how they are going to survive and where they're going. So we're telling from now, when you're in school, when you're already in school, stay in school and make sure you are there. And when you're intellectually better, I believe you'll be better off. And let's look at the EPL itself, and let's look at a lot of players playing outside of the country. You see how well educated they are and how smart they are. And they don't only play with just that; they have a degree.
Yeah, at the end of the day, football is still football, but you should not just replace from one thing to another. Have both. Have a backup plan, because at the end of the day, you can't be playing football when you're 50, can you? It's all about just trying to have a proper life, a balanced life, to make sure that everything is being, well guarded for your own sake, as well as for your own well-being moving forward. Coach Redza from the National Football Development Program, thank you so much. I can't believe, I wish we could actually talk more. This is a very interesting topic, but time is against us. But thank you so much for coming on to the show. Really appreciate it on educating us, on telling us how it actually is with the development of football amongst our youngsters in Malaysia. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
All right, cheers. That was Coach Redza talking to us about football and how it is actually with the youngsters specifically. And we can truly hope that a lot of great things are coming out from them, if not sooner, then it will be later. But I'm psyched. I can't wait to cheer them on for the country. All right, folks, that's all for now for Let's Chat. Hope you enjoy this particular session. We'll see you again next time with our next one. Take care now.